people, fuck a crooked politician. Cinematic pictures gave me details of the mission. Living with my sins, but I know it's been forgiven. Dialogue for pussy has a nigga steady slipping, but I'm bouncing back. Overflow of music, it's an avalanche. Miami-Dade to Brown.
What's good, world? It's your boy Easily Done. Easy said and done. Listen, we gotta go to the next phase, next episode, next conversation about Shedeur, the Shedeur Sanders story. I love what I heard, because I don't watch preseason. I've been said on here, I don't do preseason, right? I'm just worried about my 49ers and their injuries right now. I'm going to pay attention to if some big names get hurt, because you always hate to see injuries. I always want to see people win and lose with all their players. But I know they need preseason to get back into football gear. You know what I mean? Mid-season form. That's how you work towards being like everything in cohesion with a football team. All right. So the Shedeur Sanders situation, it still irks me, right? Because I'm starting to see and feel some type of way about the whole how far down the depth chart he is, and the real reason why you went and drafted this kid who I still believe he was first round talent. I mean, how do you go from all season? This is what I was talking about in the first video. You was projected to be, it was arguable, either you or Cam Ward was going to be the first pick in the draft. Okay? And y'all people do your analytics. You got the NFL got their people, you got ESPN, then your own, each franchise got their own people. How do all season long the kid was projected to be a lottery, a top 10 pick, right? To go into the 5th round. We passed that. It's happened already, right? But the more insult to injury is Cleveland. You drafted a quarterback before you take him. You know, and you signed Pickett, Kenny Pickett, as your projected starter. You already got Flacco on the roster, so he's 4th on your depth chart. Man, I love the kid did his thing last night, because that's how he's got to do. He's got to grind at this point. He's got to grind and accept the challenge that's been put in front of him. You know, and I know his pedigree, his bloodline, the way his dad built him. He loved his challenge, because he's excelled at every level he's had to perform in. I've been watching Shedeur since they were doing YouTube episodes with him in high school, with his coach, when Dion coached him in high school, Trinity Christian High School, some shit like that. Right? I was watching it then. They were blowing everybody out. I'm mad. I'm like, who y'all playing? Because it was nothing but 56 to zip every time. There was up 28-0 at halftime every game. You know? Then he go to Jackson State. He continues to do his thing. I'm like, all right, now, Shedeur looking like the real deal. Because he go to Jackson State, you know, before y'all was at Jackson State, it was like, who is Jackson State? He get there, and all of a sudden, Jackson State doing the damn thing, and Shedeur look good out there. All right. His dad get a job at Colorado. Shedeur follow him to Colorado. He go ball over there. Even when Colorado wasn't good his first season, Shedeur's stats was eye-popping. You couldn't help. I know we fell in love with the Travis Hunter situation, playing both positions, right? But Shedeur was right there with him on a level of play. And I remember this. Colorado was a work in progress. Dion got there. They never had an offensive line, and they never had a running game. You know, he don't got what these other quarterbacks have with these 5-star running backs and offensive line in front of him. His dad brought him and Travis, and y'all turned Colorado around. Shedeur showed the world this man is elite. He has always played up to a standard everywhere he's gone. So you project him to be a top NFL pick. But here's the problem now. He's got some arrogance about him. There's 2 guys I want to compare him to when y'all want to talk about dudes and the scenarios and their pre-draft situations. But the one difference is going to be black and white. It is what it is. It's the Aaron Rodgers. Listen, Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback coming out of college when he came out, talent for talent wise. The kid was just like he was in the NFL, played played the position to perfection. I'm talking about the way he stood in the pocket, the way his release, his accuracy, arm strength. He was what all these teams dream about for a quarterback, and had some athleticism. But he was arrogant. He knew he was that dude. So instead of being the number one pick, and my Niners were going to get him, but that's why it was his arrogance that made the Niners go get Alex Smith. But the only thing they did to Aaron was drop him from the first overall pick to the 24th, but still in the first round. And he ended up in Green Bay, and then history was written. Right? Shedeur, because of I believe this is what it is, the color of his skin, and he got a last name, and they hate that because he's already well off. He don't have to be some yes massa because I need your money. I don't need your money. I play football. I'm good at it. I know I'm good. I've been training for this day my whole life. So I'm going to walk in the room because I'm going to walk in the room knowing that information. I don't got to be a yes man, yes sir. What I'm going to do is when it's time for y'all to coach me, I'll let you coach me. But he probably seen through the questioning, but whatever. They say they seen flaws in his character. Y'all, I'm not dumb, right? I'm not dumb. NFL franchises at the end of the day, that's why Aaron Rodgers went from the first to still winning the first. You're not going to risk your franchise on petty shit like that. If the kid got talent, let's see if we can coach him first before we just not pick him and let him go round after round with all these teams in the quarterback. So that's why I was already like, this bullshit. This is something is deeper than that. I hate to see this game that we love in the NFL. It's still America, and our issues with colorism and racism is still there, bro. Because that's what it feels like. Like, you doing this man dirty. It's not just a last name. Because if he was white with that last name, and here's the other quarterback I wanted to mention, Eli. See what I'm saying? When Eli came in and already got a brother who was that dude when he played in Tennessee, right? And is doing his thing in the NFL. And his dad did his thing in the NFL. You know, he's got a last name that we know, Manning. So when they want to project him the number one pick, he's telling them where he's not going to go. And instead of doing them like you're doing Shedeur now, y'all accommodated him. The Chargers and the Giants made a trade. Because I refuse to believe that. I'll give you a prime example. The Saints should have picked up Shedeur. The Giants, I will argue with you. Maybe this kid Jackson Dart, I think that's his name, right? It's actually nice like that. They felt like, but for all these teams, besides that, to think Shedeur's a 5th round pick, and I know some of y'all need quarterbacks. For even Cleveland to pick Dylan Gabriel and then get another quarterback, that don't make no sense. Like, that late in the draft, with all the needs you need, or Pittsburgh waiting on Aaron Rodgers to decide to retire or not. And I'm like, that boy looked like a Pittsburgh Steelers. Shedeur looked like he would fit their organization. And I say this because, yeah, Pittsburgh the type of team that don't like that type of character. But Shedeur like the type of man that if you drafted him, he'll learn to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. He'll go out there. His dad will tell him, listen, I know how the Steelers organization is. They are blue collar. They don't want our arrogance. So go out there and just be great. And Shedeur would have did that. You know what I'm saying? He might have did some celebrations when he scored his touchdown, like Antonio Brown did for years. You know? Come on, man. Like, it's just, I'm rooting for you. I love how we all, and that's what's I feel like at the end of the day, that's what's gonna be the biggest, like, they can't do nothing with him but play him because he got the whole black community with him. I love that. We see the black and white too. And we're not gonna sit here and stand by and watch you play in this situation knowing what you're doing. And it's the thing too, man. Y'all gotta stop trying us a certain type of way, knowing the majority of your players on them fields is brothers. And a lot of your fans, it's the same thing. Stop playing with us, bro. Come on, man. You would hate to see a mass exodus of fandom, right? If you try Shedeur. Because I know for a fact, I know people who still feel some type of way about Kaepernick. You know, that was the first, like, all right, now these people playing. You know, they made an example out of Kaepernick. And I don't want to make it about black and white, but man, it's not black and white as in color skin. It's black and white like reading words on a page, man. It's obvious. It's clear. It's not about black and white in the color of our skin. It's words on a page. You can't read white words on a white page. You read it black words because it stands out, and you can clearly see this shit is crazy, bro. But he keep on shining. I don't hear nobody. First of all, this dude, Shedeur, is getting more fame than Cam Ward is right now in Tennessee. He was a #1 pick. I barely hear anything about Cam right now. This is crazy. It's Shedeur all day. So that fact alone is merchandising for him and the Cleveland Browns. The man's probably got the Cleveland Browns preseason games being sold out. Preseason. See what I'm saying? People are going to be watching the games, waiting for y'all to play this man. So that lets you know, listen, for y'all fans that don't understand, it's a business side of things and it's a football side of things. But it don't make sense for if your business is playing football and winning games, why play with the fact that your most talented quarterback is fourth on the depth chart? That's crazy, bro. That's why I want to do this. I gotta keep with the narrative going. Like, we got our eyes on y'all people, man. I love the NFL. I'm a 49er fan, man. But man, and I'm a 49er fan. I sat there and watched y'all do Kaepernick a certain way, and still stuck by my Niners. And now watch Kaepernick go down and be made an example of. And here we go again. The NFL got to do better, man. This way you view us is getting ridiculous. It's just getting ridiculous. We helping y'all make this money, man. When can we mend these issues? Y'all could just sit and talk to the kid. I don't listen. Me personally, I'm an organization, right? I'm like, look, let's draft him and see if he mess up when we draft him. I'd rather try to take a chance on winning, because I've seen all kind of franchises take chances on dudes that got criminal background records, dudes that are borderline, like, you don't know what this man gonna do, but y'all done took all type of people and all type of rounds. But Shedeur, because he's arrogant and he's a threat, because talent-wise, I don't understand that shit, bro. I'm telling you, I know he the best quarterback on that roster. And I like Dylan Gabriel. I wish he wasn't caught up in a situation. That man played a lot of college football at a high level, and he's breaking his own stereotype with height. He's got to go through his own battle because he's a shorter quarterback, but he's gifted. He can run. He can throw. He did his thing in Oregon. He did his thing at UCF and Oklahoma, right? He deserves not to be caught up in this. Kenny Pickett too. Like, it's just like, that's why I know something don't make sense, bro. Y'all playing. Cleveland is willing to be the franchise. That's why it's Cleveland and not Dallas or San Fran or Green Bay, because them franchises make a lot more money than the Cleveland Browns to play like this with their franchise. It's too much billions on the line and winning and losing and this fan base to play. No disrespect to the Browns, but y'all know there's levels to this, and that's just what it is. The Dallas Cowboys are $1 billion. They're one of the richest franchises in all of sports, baseball, football, basketball. They're just one of the richest, period. They wouldn't play like this. Even though Jerry playing with Micah right now, but that's Jerry's little game. But Jerry not going to play with a draft pick because he knows how much he can pay the draft pick anyways. This is something else. You know, so we're just going to keep watching. But I'm rooting for you, Shedeur. I promise you, boy. I'm rooting for you, boy. I know you the real deal. And the fact that makes it more insulting is you a pocket passer. That's the even crazier part. It's not like he's a dual threat trying to learn how to throw. The kid, that's what he does. You question his athleticism, the kicking in the pocket, read defenses, all that. He been training. That man Ben had his dad calling up people like Troy Aikman, like, man, I need you to holler at my son. You know, Tom Brady, like, people been there and had conversations with Shedeur. before this, way before this, like been seeing where he's at with this, but he gonna show you. But I want Shedeur, right? Because I know your dad is somewhat of a believer, a man of God. You gotta, if you're gonna seek God, right, and overcome this amount of hatred that's an issue in America, you gotta walk this in a godly fashion, bro. Let them know that what God got for you can't nobody take away. All right, now I want to switch this up real quick because we brought up the name Manny and it's football season. So let's just keep the narrative going, right? Quarterbacks, Arch Manning, right? Let me say something. I hate how we do this. This is why I don't like preseason. See, Shedeur is a whole nother narrative because it's bigger than just football. Arch is the football narrative, but it does got a lot to do with his last name, right? Come on, man. Listen, it's like these other quarterbacks that they got a little bit more of a rap sheet, more them played more games. Who are they? We all waiting to watch Arch Manning play. I'm not. I'm gonna know what I see in Arch when he play. He's not my focus. I'm worried about my man Lenoris, I don't forgot his last name, that played for South Carolina, or Lagway that plays for the Gators. These are two up and coming. Or Klubernick, the Clemson quarterback, who we've watched for a couple of years, and now Clemson's looking like they got a legit national championship team as well. But he been playing. Or my man from Penn State. See what I'm saying? There's some guys like Arch can't be the best quarterback in the country and don't play 2 games. Come on, man. Y'all are like building that up a little too much. What you're doing is putting unnecessary pressure on the kid, too. I know he's a Manning, but that's still not a guarantee. He got to go out there and play. And don't get gassed up when Texas be playing nobodies and he's got a bunch of stats. We're going to get to see that first game when he plays against a team that's got the same type of talent they do, which is Ohio State. You know, but it's a little bit too much dick riding right now with the Arch Manning situation. And I wanted, and I've seen some guys post, it's really more comments I've read, right? When I see the post about Arch is, what about all these other All-Americans Texas got? And that's why Texas is number 1 team in the country, and one of the top 5 teams coming into the season. They got a squad. They've been recruiting. It ain't just Arch, right? Because we really ain't seen Arch. That's the hope, that Arch is just as good. Because if you think, but listen, Quinn Ewers was a highly recruited player. He just didn't have a last name that carried weight. But I remember Quinn, when he came out of high school and Ohio State recruited him, was one of the highest ratings coming out of high school ever. Like literally, you can do your research. Quinn Ewers, because they got this point system. And I know about it because my Michigan Wolverines we got a 5-star that he's up there with that type of all time. I don't know what they do. I don't know how you can even compare one kid to another when you play. There's a difference in a kid playing in North Carolina versus playing in Florida or Texas, because the competition different in Texas and Florida versus North Carolina. Right? So how am I really going to be that gassed up on somebody when his competition level wasn't the same? The same thing go with, you get up to the college level, the SEC is the best conference in football. So if I know you putting up numbers in the SEC, you the real deal. It's just what it is versus, no disrespect to the MAC or the Sun Belt. You know, it's just what it is. You just know that the SEC is the best of the best. That's why we stay constantly seeing preseason teams from the SEC get the love they get. So, with that being said, Arch got to put in some work for all the dick riding y'all doing. It's getting ridiculous. I swear y'all got him already preseason first team All-American. You know how y'all pre-select that. There's no way he can be over that for my man or the LSU quarterback. See what I'm saying? There's a couple of guys that they got the numbers that they should get more praise than Arch. Arch's last name is doing a little too much right now. And I got none but love for Eli and Peyton. You know, I was saying in my example earlier, but Eli is the Tom Brady killer. That man is 2-0 against Tom Brady in Super Bowls. Salute. Peyton Manning, one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life, bro. No one else to say. One of the best quarterbacks I ever watched in my life. I never seen a man be a human computer on a football field. The offensive coordinator ain't got to do nothing. Just watch that man do his job, but do it that well. I'm talking about calling plays himself. He don't need your playbook. He got it up here. You know? So his name has got some clout because them boys earned it, but you got to let Arch earn his too. Because y'all gonna mess him up and y'all be crying when he don't live up. And don't stop the Trevor Lawrence comparison. Because if I was Arch, I'd be like, don't compare me to Trevor. Because Trevor was all right in college. I know Arch won in the NFL because both his uncles are NFL legends. And Trevor is still a work in progress, right? Am I lying? See what I'm saying? And that's another example of the hype train. Because they was on Trevor's nuts when he was in college. And I started seeing like it was a system that had Trevor looking good, and the Clemson had squads around him, you know. But he still can prove himself. But that man been riding that gravy train for a while. So, but we just y'all done got me on this football tip, man. I couldn't hold it back. Shedeur got me open, Arch got me open, but we still waiting on them first games that count. All right. But it's your boy Easily Done. Easy said and done. We out.